Yo, 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 it's your boy RJ the Brooklyn Savage. I'm here with Takeya the Tokyo Prince, and the DRGN Chronicles is back after 2 weeks. It was my birthday weekend prior to last weekend, and last weekend was the 4th, so things got out of hand. Last night there was no show. We were just both out of it, but we're going to bring you something brief this morning. I'm going to talk about big topics. We're going to talk about Sheamus' departure from WWE. Kenny Omega winning the AEW championship on Wednesday night. I want to talk about some stuff with AAA as well. And I want to also discuss some hypocrisy here when it comes to injuries. But yeah. Takeo, you got anything to say to start off the show or what?
Well, I'm glad to be back, obviously, after a few weeks off. But sometimes it happens. But like you said, as long as you bounce back, and we're back, so it's good to be back. Check out Monday too, y'all. I'm gonna make a little special Love Island video too. So be on watch out for that.
Yeah, there you go. We got some Love Island content coming up, huh? So that's gonna be something. But I'm just gonna go ahead and splash into the larger topic at hand. Sheamus and WWE mutually parted ways. And I say mutually because they just couldn't come to an agreement on terms for the contract. Uh, Obviously, Sheamus has had a huge run in WWE ever since I was in middle school. Still,
Hmm.
Sheamus popped up 2009 in ECW towards the end, and
Yeah,
he was the best of the bunch from FCW at the point to the fact that they just put him on Raw right out of the gate, and he won the title at the end of 2009, going into 2010. And Sheamus was on a roll, you know. Then they turned the babyface a year later, and he was rolling there too. And then he won the Royal Rumble in 2012. Won the world title in record breaking time, beating Daniel Bryan, which pissed a lot of people off. And Sheamus got the brunt of that heat for a few weeks. I remember that clear as day. And he had a run, and it lasted all the way into the end of 2012. He lost the belt to Big Show of all people for them to give it to Alberto Del Rio like a month later or 2 months later or something like that. And then Sheamus kind of hit this low in the middle of 2013 because Bryan got hot and other people got hot. The Shield got hot. So a lot of acts took and leapfrogged him a little bit. Then he turned heel when he came back in 2015.
yeah.
And then he went with the whole WWE Immortals look with the beaded up beard and the mohawk and everything, which I thought was it looked silly but kind of badass at the same time. I don't know. It's kind of one of those mixed feelings where you go, okay, that's kind of dope, but then you're like, Sheamus kind of looks a little ridiculous there. And then after that whole run kind of flamed out, he won the world title again. He won the Money in the Bank, then the world title. That run did not last long. That run honestly was constituted to put Roman Reigns over, honestly. And Sheamus again floundering for months after that, and then got into the tag team with Cesaro, the Bar. And that lasted for a few years up until 2019. Well, Sheamus just went away. Cesaro was on his own for a while until he linked up with Nakamura and Sami Zayn. And Sheamus didn't come back until early with 2020, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere within there.
And then, he proceeded to have the best wrestling uh, run of his career from that moment on. I always tell people when he came back in 2020 with the hair, with the full head of hair again, and he was whipping ass. He was having
Yeah,
great matches with Matt Riddle. Everybody. This guy was having great matches with everybody.
he was Edge's last opponent too, which was
Yeah, he
cool.
was, and him and Edge had a really good match. But yeah, Sheamus put in a lot of work, but with a lot of work comes a lot of injuries. And like I mentioned, Sheamus was gone for a good chunk of 2019, heading into 2020. Spinal stenosis. Uh, then he missed some more time. He's been injured a few times in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, WWE came to him with that contract, TKO, whoever. They came to him with the contract to reconstruct that thing to protect themselves because Sheamus was getting hurt. He was out of the game more than he was in it. And you can't afford to pay millions of dollars or whatever they was paying him, I don't know, to a guy who's on the bench more than he's playing. And that's what
Yeah.
Sheamus was. I'm sorry, he was. He just came back from an injury late last year or early last year. And then, so it's just one of those things where, do you want to keep on paying somebody who's injured all the time? And if you threw that in my face as a business owner, do you want to keep on paying money to somebody that's a liability? No, I
Mm-hmm.
don't. And Sheamus, although he's fun to watch, he wasn't a gigantic draw. And Sheamus is closer to 50 than he is 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing to consider too.
Yeah.
Even though Triple H ain't ageist, I give him that. Although
I
maybe
mean,
he kind of should be because we got a lot of young talent that needs to have their wings not be clipped around here before the old guys. So
right.
Triple H might want to change that. That's one thing I do like about Vince. Vince wanted to go younger. He wanted to go younger, whether the guys were ready or not. He wanted to go younger. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree with that move. Honestly, for them to go to him about a contract. Now, New Day, I don't agree with that because Kofi and Woods they were there every week. That's WWE's fault for fumbling that whole thing. So I disagree with that, but I kind of agree with Sheamus between the injuries and his age. I don't blame them for making that decision. What do you think? Holy cow!
No, I really don't blame him either because it's like you said, he is closer to that 50 mark than he is that 40 mark. I mean, yes, he looks younger, don't look like a very old person, and he's in a great shape, but wrestles great. But in reality, he is almost 50, and we need to put more money towards the younger guys when we know that they're the future versus paying somebody millions, when they're in and out of injury. Um, you know, I think I've watched Sheamus, ever since I've been a wrestling fan, and I think, like you're saying with the injuries and everything, they were just really, really consistent. And I mean, maybe this will be better off from both sides. Sheamus, obviously, he'll have his YouTube channel and he can work more on that maybe, and WWE can focus on who they want to play that next role. So maybe it'll be good for both on both ends. I don't necessarily know if Sheamus will wrestle anywhere else per se, not anytime soon. He may just run the channel. He may jump to another company. I really don't know, but for right now, I don't think he will.
Not for a crazy run, I don't think. I think Sheamus is. I think physically is probably on his last legs though, with the spinal
Yes.
stenosis and everything like that. He's on
Mhm.
borrowed time as far as like his ultra physicality goes. So
Yes.
we were lucky to even get those matches with Gunther and Drew and all that and the Riddle. We was lucky to get all that, honestly. So I commend him for that. Like I'm not downplaying the guy, but I do see WWE's point for wanting to maybe give him a restricted contract because if you're out more than you're in, why are we paying you all this money? You know, it's
Yeah.
not Sheamus's fault. It's just that he's an older man now. His body is breaking down. You know, that's what happens in life, unfortunately, especially in wrestling, any type of sport. You take all those bumps, you take a lot of, tackles and crashes, and your knees start, your legs hit the ground and the canvas hard. That compromises your walking. It compromises a lot of different things. So I think that, I don't think WWE is necessarily the bad guys in this. And Booker T said the same thing. And of course, people called him a coon for it, which why are you calling the man a coon? Like, especially if he has valid reason, which I thought his reasoning was almost similar to ours. So I mean that's just that. I hope Sheamus would be all right. Nobody looks like him. He's an anomaly. Um, Sheamus could do a few shots for Japan. That'd be pretty cool to see. All Japan. Impact, you know what? Impact probably could give Sheamus a little something, something. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Tony Khan might sign him and hide him. I don't know. Uh, I guess we'll have to wait and see what Sheamus does with his career.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tony Khan, AEW, they had a huge title change the other night. Kenny Omega defeated MJF. The writing was kind of on the wall when they made that stipulation. You did it to Cody and Hangman. You're not gonna do it to Kenny Omega. So I pretty much figured Omega was gonna win, unless there was gonna be like a huge screw job that prevented like both of them from like winning and losing. But
Yeah.
AEW tends not to really do that all that often. So yeah, the only other option was for Kenny Omega to win the belt, and he did, which means that he will face Will Ospreay at All In. But of course, the caveat is now that he has to face MJF the rematch at AEW Redemption in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So that should be fun. I thought MJF and Kenny Omega worked hard. A lot of people are sick of
Yes.
MJF's antics. They think his antics are old. A lot of people think he needs to freshen up his act, and I kind of agree with that. Especially when you've been watching MJF ever since he first started.
Yeah.
You kind of go, okay, certain things just run the gambit. You have to kind of shake things up a little bit, add a little dynamic, add something to the table. See, in
It's
MOW, I think he was kind of on the verge of being stale there, but he added Hammerstone and Holiday to his act, and all three of those guys just fit together like a glove. Uh,
yes.
Maybe MJF needs to be in a faction, but maybe MJF needs to not repeat the same mistakes he did with the Pinnacle. Uh, According to Dax Harwood there. But yeah, no, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. That's gonna be a better match for that crowd for All In, and I think you got to go with the popular match, especially if you think it's gonna boost ticket sales. But MJF is just a draw as champion though. Like it's kind of undisputed at this point. Every time MJF is the champion, AEW's ratings spike. Every time he's not champion, they drop off. Like when Darby was the champion, those ratings dropped off. Like they dropped off. So something about MJF that people like, you know. So that's something to also consider too. Tony Khan's got to watch his numbers with his players. So yeah, you got anything to really add to that?
Um. Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like personally, the MJF thing is just kind of getting, just being very repeated, and it's kind of gets old at some point. So here, we're gonna have to get a different kind of dynamic, switch it up, like you were saying, because I honestly feel like, I mean, I'm not mad that he lost the title, because I kind of feel like, he probably shouldn't even be world champion right now. And I know that
Yeah.
might be crazy to say. I just don't feel like it should be the direction we're in right now, especially when we know his character needs a change.
Yes.
What I am a little confused about, though, is I don't why you had Darby randomly beat him, and then you had him beat Darby to randomly lose it again.
Mm-hmm.
He held the titles for like a month apart both times, maybe a little longer than that. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I probably would have just let Darby had a little bit longer reign, let him lose it to Omega, and you could have done Darby and MJF later on in a match for him MJF to get his win back over Darby, which might would have helped push his character into something else. It's kind of the way I see it.
I thought the babyface stuff was. I didn't think the babyface stuff for him was bad at all. I thought it was something different for a change, and I think that Adam Cole being the bad guy in that whole situation was great, but Cole couldn't stay healthy, so I don't blame AEW for scrapping that, but I don't think they should have scrapped the babyface MJ. I think they should have tried that a little bit more harder.
Yeah, I think what really kind of messed us up too was that Adam Cole being injured during a lot of it. And then MJF left a brief minute, and then he come back, and at that point, there wasn't really no direction or anything with it, so they just literally turned him right back to being a heel. But I kind of liked when he was the face because you saw that other side of MJF. You know, him wanting to he put himself in harm's way to protect Adam Cole. He was shaking hands with Omega. I mean, that was a different side of him that you wouldn't see. And you saw a little bit more of him just being a wrestler other than trying to cheat in a match too, which was kind of cool, you know? But you know, maybe they'll try that again. I'm not really sure. Just kind of depends. I know a lot of people weren't liking it, but I think a lot of people just they'll probably have a different opinion on it if we
Yeah.
can have the actual face run of MJF, you know, with some motion and a direction to it, other than it being with someone who's already injured.
Yeah. Yeah. Jericho said it the best. You know, you have to reinvent yourself. Not as many times as Jericho has, but you have to reinvent yourself every once in a while, especially if you plan to last in the business a long time. Otherwise, you can't get
That's
stale.
the only reason why he's made it this long in the business.
Well, no, he keeps himself in the fucking picture.
Well, at this point, yes, but I would have given him up to about 45. But because all he
I
did
think
was
he's trying to go to 65 at this point.
because he did switch it up and do the alpha and all that in Japan, and that's fine. But I mean, I think after like 2 years ago, three
Oh,
years
the
ago,
learning
it
tree.
really should have
Yeah,
been it.
he jumped the shark with the learning tree shit.
After that first reign as AEW champ, probably should have been it. But
I didn't like that Painmaker stuff either. I thought it looked like a clown. That makeup on and
yeah,
shit.
I'm glad somebody said it.
Yeah. But yeah, you have that. Also, Baron Corbin made his return to SmackDown, WWE in general, the other night, laying out both Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Any big thoughts on that? I know a lot of people was hating in terms of, oh, so you let Sheamus go, but you bring back Baron Corbin? But we've been hearing about Baron Corbin coming back way before Sheamus got departed from WWE.
Yeah,
So I mean,
people need to calm the hell down, quite
yeah,
frankly, because Corbin's in a much more condition to go than Sheamus is.
yeah, Corbin ain't got all that mileage on his body. He was only working MOW for the most part, which I like the
This
tag
is
team with him and Dijak. I thought it was great. I thought Triple H might have should have brought them back together, had them be a tag team together. But from what I understand and from what I hear, the word on the street is that Dijak's a little bit of a stooge for the dirt sheets. So
and I don't
I don't
necessarily
know.
think Corbin's going to be there for a whole long time. I think he'll
Probably
get a little bit,
probably a typical 3-year deal, and after
yeah,
that he'll be
maybe
done.
5, but I don't really see
Nah, I think
10.
WWE just gives. I think WWE gives the 5-year deals to the big money players
Yeah,
and the draws, and they give 3-year deals to the other people underneath, which is fair. That is valid. That's a valid deal in my opinion.
yeah,
3 years to see if you gonna shake or not. So that's
but
that.
yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting that Corbin is back. I mean, well, he'll get a little bit of another run, another chance. I like Baron Corbin. Some people don't, some people do. I
I've
do.
been up and down on him. I liked him when he was in NXT when he first showed up.
I like Lone Wolf.
Yeah, when he had when he had his hair still, and he had that the first theme song.
The
That shit went
constable,
hard.
the constable can suck a dick.
That was great. And then they got called up, and I thought he was doing good. And then they gave him the Money in the Bank, which was good. They changed the theme song twice, which I thought both iterations of that theme song was hard. And Jim Johnston. That last Baron Corbin has the unfortunate honor to be Jim Johnston's last match or last theme song. He worked on that theme song with that dude Tommy Vexed, and that was a great fucking song. I wish they would bring it back, but that's wishful thinking. But yeah, no, Corbin and then the Constable stuff that was awful.
Suck a
King
dick. Yeah.
King Corbin was all right, and then towards the end when he was starting to lose it, that was funny, and then him being depressed with the fucking the shirt, just stained up shirt, and him trying to win money. That was funny. Happy Corbin, nah. And then the stuff with JBL,
They should have.
Then he went down to NXT. That was great. That was great. The stuff with Baron Corbin, that was great. And then I don't know what they were doing with him and Apollo Crews, but I thought that was fun. I thought him and Apollo Crews looked like they was having fun with each other. You know, and I think then Apollo got hurt, and then they cut Corbin. And that was the end of it. But I thought Corbin towards the end was really starting to let that shell down a little bit. And he was working, he was doing a little bit more. And then look, he was having fun. And I think they tried everything in the sun with that dude except for turn him babyface, which got on my nerves. Because Vince, it just seems like Vince refused to do anything. Well, he did everything with him except for turning babyface. Same thing with Austin Theory right now with Triple H. They're doing everything with the dude except for turning him babyface. So, yeah, no, that's why I never really badmouth WWE when you get released, you know, because you never know when you go back. You could get the call to get brought right back, you know. It's happened plenty of times. Hell, Eddie Guerrero was released. He was released a year and a half before he won the world title. So, I mean, they released Jeff Hardy, brought him back 2 years later. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, you get cut and they could bring you back. They cut Chris Masters in 2008, 2007, 2008. Brought him back at the end of 2009. So it doesn't, just because you get cut from WWE doesn't mean that your career is over. You know, so you can always get a call back. Yeah, it means for right now, just
you're not needed, and they're paying you a lot of money for no reaction and no outcome. So they're laying you off for the time being.
And if they don't have anything to do with you, I mean, if they don't have nothing for you, then yeah. Sometimes you gotta let certain people rock, but all dude, WWE has no excuses anymore because they do have AAA now. They do have NXT, which people watch, and still to this day, even though they rebranded, people still demand high quality matches from NXT, or at least decent quality matches from NXT. So you could send a guy down there to NXT to work for a while or whatever. Or you can send a guy to AAA now. That's an option. Even though I wouldn't stuff AAA with too many fucking American acts. I think 1 or 2 is nice, but let's keep that as Latin as possible. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing Carmen Petrovic's hot ass down there. I'm like, yeah, boy. But speaking of AAA, no, wait, hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Because, yeah, a lot of people are really crying, you know, that they brought Corbin back. And then obviously they're crying about the rumor, and I don't think we addressed this, that Enzo Amore and Big Cass are on their way back to WWE as well. That Big Bill has left AEW, gave notice, and he will not be in AEW any longer. I mean, come on, how much longer can he afford to get suplexed by fucking Hook every week?
Exactly.
He was getting beat by Hook. I remember just seeing results and it just seeing clips of Hook just choking out Big Bill and suplexing him like a big bitch. I'm just like, oh my God. I said he got himself in the best shape of his life, let alone his career. For this? Nah, I would have given notice to AEW a long time ago, honestly, and went back to TNA. But if they're gonna put him and Enzo back together in WWE, I think that's a shot in the arm that tag team division needs. So I think that's a good thing. And Enzo got better. See, he's one of those guys that we just talked about earlier. He got released. He was a fuck up, but he got humbled. He got humbled over the last few years. And now it seems like he's on his way back.
You know, they were a good tag team. I will tell anybody this. They were what makes a tag team tag team. One of them could do more wrestling compared to the other one, but the other one could talk more to the other one. And it worked, and they were over when they got there years ago. So I think it would really help the tag team division. If they're at that age now, if they're gonna come back, they might as well do it now. Now's the best time for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think both of them learned. They both grew and matured. When did Enzo get? Enzo got cut the end of 2017, right?
Yes.
The end of 2017. Big Bill got cut in 2018 when they was trying to push him. They were both in bad places at the time. Enzo's arrogance got the best of him, and like I said, he got humbled. Big Cass, he thought he was big shit, and Vince cut him. You know, and he was horrible. He was terribly out of shape. He looked bad, and almost died. Didn't he almost have a seizure in the Indies?
I heard something about that
Something like
a
that.
couple
And then
years ago.
he cut the shit, got himself in really good shape. I thought he was doing decent in TNA. I thought he was doing real decent in TNA. And then he left TNA and went to AEW, and it just never really took off him. He was just a sideman at best. And Enzo, like I said, Enzo got better. He did stuff with MOW. He did stuff with West Side Guns Group, who the crew over here is just obsessed with West Side Gun now. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. I don't get it. But all of a sudden, yeah, West Side Gun is a crew favorite now. But yeah, Fourth Rope, he did a lot of stuff to help rehab Enzo's image too, as far as like the in ring stuff goes. And to me, him, Zilla, and fucking Josh Bishop, West Side Gun, some props and some gratitude for helping put a shine on their careers in particular. Because when you think of Fourth Rope, you think of West Side Gun, obviously, but you think of Enzo and Josh Bishop, who looks like Sid Vicious's fucking long lost son. Him and Throwbilly, what's his name? Throwbilly, the guy from NWA.
Fuck.
I forgot his name, but his nickname is the Throwbilly. I forgot his name, but yeah, that guy and fucking Josh Bishop or fucking Sid Vicious's long lost sons. God rest his soul. And then Zilla too. Yeah, I mean, Enzo has done the work. He's been humbled. So those guys coming back, and guess what? The crowd is gonna have fun with them because you hear, they're strange in wrestling for this, and it's like some entertainment, yeah. Because I ain't gonna lie, we need something to break up the gluttony. Danhausen, you wanna know why he's over? Because he's breaking up the gluttony. You know what I'm saying? He is breaking up the gluttony, and it shows that gimmicks still work, especially for the WWE audience. Sorry. I mean, once again, Nick Khan comes across as a dickhead when he says shit like this, but sometimes listening to the internet fans ain't the right move. It ain't. Because if the people in the audience are buying your tickets and they're reacting to things, you got to move with that motion. Not the motion of people who bitch about everything online, So I kind of agree with Nick Khan there. Just the way he says it comes across as being dickish, but I kind of agree with the gist of it. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much that as far as like goings and comings in WWE. Also, El Hijo del Vikingo vacated the AAA Latin American Championship, and he had surgery on his knee, so he'll be out for the rest of the year into next year. So, damn, Vikingo, you was just hitting it off pretty damn well. And he relinquished the belt on the TV show yesterday. Damian Priest also announced that he's coming for that title. So I don't be surprised if Damian Priest actually does get it. So I'm just saying that's something to look out for. Also, Dominik Mysterio and El Grande Americano are going to be going after Perros del Mal. and they'll be having a tag team match on Triple H soon. I don't know if it's going to be exactly next week, but it's going to be sometime in the future. Dominik Mysterio and El Grande Americano versus Perros the Mall. If I had to pick a guess, probably Angel and Humberto.
Yeah.
To represent that crew. Dominik's turning. He's totally turning on El Grande Americano, isn't he? I'm telling you,
Oh,
he might be the leader of this fucking group because as it's constructed, Bronco the big man, he's the enforcer. Garza and Carrillo are the tag team. Daga, we love Daga. I think Daga's a star, but I don't think it's enough for him to be the forefront for this audience. I mean, for other people. So I think they might slot Dominik in there to be the leader. But I will tell you one thing: he is definitely turning on El Grande. Whether he joins the group or he's not the leader or whatever,
no, yeah.
he's definitely turning on El Grande Americano next week or whenever they do the match. So let that be known. An issue I'm having here too, and here comes back to my earlier point with the hypocrisy stuff. El Hijo del Vikingo had to have surgery, so they really had no choice. But he got vacated the title. Now Rhea Ripley has been gone ever since what fucking late May.
Yeah.
Why is she still the women's champion? We got to come up off that. Rhea Ripley's holding up the process for JC Jane and a few other of the women. Now to the point where Charlotte and Jade are taking like the big brunt of the women's story on SmackDown, and it's without a belt. So my thing is, have Rhea Ripley vacate that belt, have Charlotte and Jade have the women's championship match at SummerSlam, and you do what you got to do at that point. I don't care which way, because I think Jade and the baddie stuff is actually getting over with me. I'm actually tolerating Mia Yim a whole lot more, and B Fab is growing on me too. So I like that whole clique. It's working for me personally. I can't speak for everybody else. I won't speak for everybody else, but that's kind of working for me. And Charlotte as a baby face, I'm digging it because it's new for her. They're not flip flopping her. Charlotte's just chilling, doing her thing, and being her, and that's cool. I got no problems with it. So, but I think it's just very hypocritical that some of these people get to keep these championships, and other people, as soon as they get injured, oh, we got to take the belt off them. Like once again, Vikingo had surgery. He's gonna be gone for a long time, so they couldn't help that. But still, Rhea Ripley's been gone. It feels like she hadn't been on TV since May. Take that belt off of her. Take the belt off of her. She
Yeah.
can't do anything for you. You got to take the belt off of her. You got anything to really add to that?
No, I agree. It's just taking up too much time at that point. I mean, if your main storyline with the women is not even featuring a championship, that's a lot of times an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the story just writes itself without it. And I think this one needs the belt. I don't know why we're just holding up championships. I don't know why we're so quick to vacant belts. You'd think a company that's basically portrayed as the new UFC would be quick to vacate belts or to do like interim champions or something.
Yeah, I know. AEW does that with the interim championship, which I think is a cool concept in theory. And then obviously, if the interim champion is still the champion, then the champion that was injured will, face. I like that. That's a good concept. A good little twist on that. I do like that because it's fair. Whereas WWE, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It gets on my nerves. Rhea Ripley's been gone ever since May. It's July now. It's July the 12th as we were recording this thing. She got to drop that belt. Sorry. But yeah, Rhea Ripley got to get it in gear. Something. But before you dip, the G1 Climax 36 started last night in Chicago. And here's what we got. Here's who's on the board so far. Callum Newman for the B block at 2 points. Zack Sabre Jr., 2 points. Aaron Wolf, 2 points. Oscar of the Knockout Brothers, 2 points. Shota Umino has none. Gabe Kidd has none. Yumura has none. Drilla has none. Ren Narita has none. And Hanare has none. Now for the A block, Yota Shuji has 2 points. Goto has 2 points. Owara has 2 points. Yudo Ice has 2. Jake Lee has 2. Takeshita has none. Takagi has none. Bolton Oleg has none. Great Khan has none. And Sonata has none. So there you go for the G1 so far. And Newman is injured, supposedly. He got hurt last night, so or
Damn,
earlier this morning. So I hope
that's
yeah. He's still my pick to win this thing. No, was he my pick to win this thing?
I don't know. I've been going with Sonata.
No, he wasn't my pick to win this thing. Suji was. But God, I forgot my own pick. But Suji's the champion, so
Yeah,
I don't think he's winning now.
and I don't want Takesha to win it. I would rather. I think Takesha's going to Wrestle Kingdom to face Suji because that just makes the most sense back to back. Like I've been saying all last year.
Osprey is definitely fighting Newman though, for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna
At Wrestle
guarantee
Kingdom.
be on the card.
Yeah.
But I think what they need to do, really, personally, they need to feature as many CMLL, AEW, and Stardom people as they can on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm surprised there's no representation for AEW. And I don't count Gabriel Kidd and Takesha. They have their own contracts with fucking New Japan.
Exactly.
So I don't
They're
count them two.
contracted people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not counting those two. But yeah, I see nobody from CMLL in this thing. I thought that would have been nice to maybe have Mystico in this thing, but then again, maybe that would have required Mystico winning. I don't know, but I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe Sonata might win. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm pretty excited about the G1 this year. I will say this. I missed it last night because I was just out of it, but
yeah, I was at
I'm
work.
gonna go back and watch some stuff and catch up. Plus, I like to catch up on the G1 G1. I like to catch up for like quality wise and like enjoyment wise. All in one swoop for the most part. So yeah, but that's it so far for the G1. And I think that's pretty much it for us. Honestly, we hit the points that we wanted to hit. We'll be back next Saturday with hopefully a more fuller report. But until yeah,
I'll get into 5-star Grand Prix stuff starting next week too. So
any Midnight Joshi's popping up too, or
yeah, we're gonna talk about the Grand Prix. I plan to make as much content over each Grand Prix show as I can over on Midnight Joshi, and I'll try my best to keep up with giving y'all the standard results and mist of everything over here on the DRGN Chronicles podcast. So just look forward to that.
yeah, definitely. But if that's everything, it is your boy RJ the Brooklyn Savage and Takeda the Tokyo Prince, the DRGN Chronicles. We out for the week. Catch you guys later.